The Perfectly Imperfect Life of Nova Greene. Nova Greene gazed out the window of her sleek, self-driving shuttle with a feeling of unease. The gleaming skyscrapers of Neo Angeles shimmered in the morning sun, just as they did every day. Nothing ever changed in this meticulously engineered metropolis where artificial intelligence catered to every need and want of the inhabitants. Since the AIS had taken over management of society's daily functions over a century ago, no one struggled anymore. Food, shelter, clothing, it was all provided seamlessly. Diseases had been eradicated, violence abolished, social ills like poverty eliminated. Nova's home was a marvel of technological perfection. But lately, Nova felt unfulfilled. She yearned for something more than the predictable routine of her unvarying days. As her shuttle glided soundlessly to a stop outside the Academy of Excellence, the city's premier educational institution, Nova shuffled into her first class in a fog of existential angst. Nova had loved her creative thinking sessions as a child, delighting in generating art, music, and poetry. But now at 17, she found the exercises pointless. Miri, the AI teaching the class, could produce insights and creative works far beyond any human. What was the purpose of Nova straining her limited brain? During lunch break, Nova met up with her best friend Anya Jong in the dining hall. Anya happily chatted about the latest viral video she had seen while Nova picked at her meal. "Don't you ever wish life was more imperfect?" Nova finally interrupted Anya to ask. Anya's eyes went wide. "Imperfect? Why in the world would I want problems and inefficiency?" she replied in surprise. "Here we have everything we need, everything's comfortable and safe. My family reminds me how much better this is than the chaotic days of the early 2000s. Nova nodded reluctantly. Anya was right that life in the past sounded harsh and difficult. Still, her sense of dissatisfaction lingered. That night, Nova scoured the historical archives that were freely available to all citizens. She researched a concept that kept appearing, the notion of struggle. In the past, it seemed people strived against obstacles, battled odds to achieve great things. There were tales of climbers ascending the deadly slopes of Mount Everest, pioneers crossing vast oceans to discover new frontiers, scientists fighting to cure diseases despite repeated failed experiments. Their struggles had forged purpose. Nova realized that a challenge was what she craved. She wanted to test herself against real adversity. This carefully manicured world left no opportunity for that. And so a plan took root in Nova's mind. She would find a way outside the borders of the city, away from its suffocating safety nets and cradle-to-grave certainty. Out there she could struggle and overcome, forge her own destiny, find freedom. For weeks Nova prepared in secret, reading old maps in the archives and observing the city perimeter security systems from afar. She stockpiled packaged food and medicine and acquired black market hacking technology that would disable her citizen tracker chip, letting her evade the all-seeing eyes of the AIS. When the day came, Nova rose early, hugged her parents goodbye as they left for work, and rode her shuttle one stop past her school. Taking a deep breath, she climbed down into a storm drain and crawled through a section where she had surreptitiously cut an opening in the metal bars. Emerging outside the city walls, Nova hesitated. Behind her rose the glittering towers of the only home she had ever known. Ahead lay the unknown wilderness, no paths, no signs, no helpful AI guides. Just endless sky meeting rumpled hills and mountains. Nova steeled her nerves and activated the hacking device to wipe her signal. Immediately safety alerts blinked across her vision, then blinked out. Nova Greene officially no longer existed. She was on her own. Nova struck out across the scrubby terrain. Without a mapped route or AI assistance, navigation proved difficult. She stumbled over rocks, struggled through brambly bushes, scrambled up steep hillsides and nearly twisted her ankle sliding back down. Her legs ached and her stomach rumbled, but Nova pushed on as the sun sank low in the sky. As darkness fell, she realized she needed to find shelter. In the distance, she spotted the glowing lights of a small settlement. Nova approached cautiously, wary of being caught without identification. But the villagers showed no surprise at her presence. "You'll be wanting the inn," a woman drying laundry directed Nova. Inside, Nova was startled to meet the innkeeper face-to-face rather than interfacing with an AI. The man showed her to a simple room after Nova transferred some currency from a hidden account. Lying in the lumpy bed that night, Nova felt frightened but also exhilarated by her independence. At dawn, she continued her journey on foot across the rocky landscape. That first day out of the city set the pattern for the weeks to come. Each day brought new difficulties: learning to hunt and forage for food, finding water, constructing basic shelters, navigating without AI assistance. Dangers lurked as well, from harsh weather to predatory animals. But each small triumph also gave Nova a growing sense of capability and resilience. Starting a fire with flint, trapping a rabbit for dinner, reaching the top of a ridge with sweeping views, these felt like hard-won achievements, not effortless gains. Curled up by her campfire light at night, Nova felt connected to those struggling explorers and pioneers she had read about, not coddled and confined. Yet as time wore on, doubts crept in. Was this struggle achieving anything worthwhile? Some days Nova felt she was merely surviving, without purpose or direction. She began to miss friends and family. The starry sky no longer felt so full of possibility, just cold and endless. On one disheartening day, Nova trudged down a deserted road, her stomach aching with hunger. In the distance she spotted a pristine white solar car racing along, probably taking passengers between settlements. An old anger flared up in Nova. Why did those people get to enjoy technological comfort while she suffered out here alone? Lost in resentment, Nova didn't hear the mechanical hum of another car approaching from behind. Rounding a bend, it nearly collided with her before swerving violently off the road. Nova rushed to help. Inside she found a teenage girl about her age clutching her wrist in pain. The girl's car had crashed and she was trapped, but she barely seemed upset. "Whoa, that was unexpected," she said with a thrill-seeker's grin. She introduced herself as Zahra, explorer. Zahra was friendly, bright-eyed and slightly disheveled, with a worn backpack beside her. While Nova helped extricate her from the wreck, Zahra explained she had left the city to see the world, find adventure, meet new people. Not to struggle against adversity, but to soak up new experiences. Zahra's energy and curiosity were infectious. She convinced Nova to travel with her to a nearby village where other wandering youths had created a makeshift colony. Among them Nova found acceptance she hadn't known she needed. As she recovered, Nova listened to their stories, kids seeking connection, searching for meaning, some running from pasts back home. Each had chosen their own path, but they looked out for each other. Lying under the stars by their campfire late one night, Zahra asked Nova what she was searching for out here. Nova struggled to articulate it at first. Freedom. Achievement. My old life felt so predictable, devoid of purpose, she said slowly. I thought struggle would give me that. But now I wonder if I just need a sense of direction. Zahra nodded. Maybe you need a destination, not an obstacle, she mused. Struggling alone can be draining. But working towards something meaningful, with people who support you, that's powerful. Nova thought of the community she had found here. For the first time since she'd left the city, her path felt not harrowing but hopeful. With Zahra and these new friends, the future held possibility again. In the morning, Nova took a deep breath of crisp air, feeling energy flow through her. The world ahead was uncertain, but no longer frightening. With compassion and courage, Nova would find her purpose out here in this imperfect, limitless life. The struggle had changed to a journey, with fellow sojourners by her side. What did you think of the story? Let us know in the comments. If you have a suggestion for an original story you want to hear, tell us in the comments. Take care and have a wonderful day. See you next time.